read about the feelings. So we're going to actually put the feelings ones aside because our thinking is about to grow a little bit more about these characters. So last week really focused on how characters feel, right? Because throughout stories we read, characters feel different ways and sometimes their feelings change, right? So now that we did character feelings, we're now going to do a different one, which is called character traits. We did this at the beginning of the school year as a whole group, but now that we're reading these M books, we're really going to dig deep with it, okay? So let's go ahead and read our target, and then I'll kind of explain more of the work we're going to do together today. Because a lot of that we're going to do together, all right? And then you'll have a little work like you did last time on your own for when we have group next time. All right, our target says, I can infer a character's traits by noticing what characters say and what they do. We did similar work like this with their feelings, right? Because we had to figure out what are you saying and what are you doing, how must you feel because of that. So now we're going to dig a little deeper and do a little bit more work, all right? So inferring also is kind of like a best guess based on what we already know. I can't really focus right now. So character traits actually describe a character's personality, okay? Because we all have our own personalities, right? For example, I could say that Donna, sometimes you can be a little shy, right? Like you don't always want to share. I know, Christian, you can be a little shy too sometimes, right? Whereas Anthony over here is probably the opposite of shy. He's very bold, and you like to just, you're daring, right? You'll just go up and do it. You know what I mean? What are other personality traits you can think of? They're shy. Let's see. We're going to use these today, which you guys already have in your reading notebooks, but we're going to use them more like definitely. You can be shy. What else can we be? You can be cheerful. Good. You can be proud. Good. Christian, can you think of a character trait? You could be excited, so maybe you're very energetic, right? I know some people here that I work with can be very energetic and excited all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on one character today, okay? And we're going to go over the success criteria. So first, we're going to identify the most important character or characters, okay? So let's read this together. First, identify the most important character or characters. Two, notice what they say and do. Right here I said their behavior. Okay, so say that with me, their behavior. Three, what does this show me? About this character. Amazing. Four, find the part of the story that shows you this. And we also have a little sentence frame right here. We'll say, so that's the character, is, and then we'll put the trait. So I can say that Donna is cheerful because, say that with me, Donna is cheerful because she, and then see how the he and she are right there? It's kind of like ELD, how we can kind of interchange those. So the character that we're going to focus on today, we're going to do it together, and I'm actually going to write them down together, okay? Is we're going to focus on the elephant, okay? We already talked about how the elephant must feel in the story, so now we're going to identify some character traits about the elephant, and we need to figure out what type of character is he. I'm also going to give each of you one of these character traits so you can have your own to work with in the group, okay? And as we're reading about the elephant, we're going to think about what kind of character is the elephant. So there's a lot on this page, and I know we used it at the beginning of the year, but to kind of help you, see how it says like nice, mean, sad? So underneath it are all the different types of words we could use for nice, mean, or sad. You have positive, negative, so if they're like a positive person or a negative person. We have a confident person, a nervous person. So there's a lot on here, but just use those to help you navigate, okay? So there's all kinds of word choices. I know, like I said, we used this a long time ago, and I think it can be a little overwhelming, but we're gonna do it together so I can show you how you can use it a little better, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna have you do is we're gonna turn to page 10, okay? Who remembers what's happening on page 10, just by like kind of looking at the illustrations? Who remembers what's happening? Anthony? What's that, honey?
The giraffe tries to say the tree's name.
He tries to say the tree's name, and then what happened to the giraffe? Did he remember it?
No.
No. So, we're not going to focus on the giraffe right now. We're going to focus on the elephant. Who are we going to focus on?
An elephant.
The elephant. I want you to read page 10 on your own. And I want you to think, based on what the elephant says and what the elephant does, let's think about what kind of character must this be. So go ahead and take a look, like 30 seconds, maybe a minute. Go ahead and read this page. After you read it, I want you to think about what does the elephant say and what does the elephant do and what kind of character must this be? You want to read to me, Vinny? So you said branch. What's at the end of that? So what's that word? Branches. I need you to read bold, proud, okay? So I know you can slide right through this. You want to use this one? What kind of character must it be? Girl, keep reading. Mhm. Here you say a lot, okay? So let's try to like take those ums out because it's, you know how like we want to read, like we want to read and sound like we're talking at the same time. You know what I mean? So when we say all the time, it kind of breaks it apart. Go ahead. So we're going to think about we're going to stay on page 10, and we're going to focus on the elephant. Right here it said elephants, well, said the elephant, elephants have the biggest brains. I'll go see the great lion. Based on what the character's saying, what is the elephant saying? What kind of character must the elephant be? Let's think. Maybe he's a little bit smart because he's going to go see the lion, but there's a better trait out there. He says elephants have the biggest brains. Is that true? No. So what must he think about himself? Would we go into nice? No. Christian, would we go into mean? Is he being mean?
No.
Is he being sad, Anthony?
No.
Okay, so we're not going to use any of those. What about positive? Is he thinking positively about himself?
Yeah.
He could be, so that could work. What about negative?
No.
No, he's definitely all about himself. What about confident?
Yeah.
What about confident, Christian?
Yeah.
When we're confident, what are we? We're kind of brave, kind of full of ourselves, right? So Anthony, I want you to look at this. Confident. Oh, I need some coffee. So let's go ahead and look through these. Can you guys think of any word that describe the elephant? And we can use these words too. Let's go ahead and say, just because of timing, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to say the elephant is a confident character. What makes us think he's a confident character? What evidence can you use to show us that he's a confident character?
Because I think he's sure that he's not
He's sure. How come? Why? What makes him think he's so sure? I want you to hold on to that. Christian, what makes you think that, or why? Because she's saying that he thinks she's so sure. What makes us think that? What does he say?
He says he has the biggest brains.
Mm-hmm. So does that make sense, Anthony? So what kind of character is elephant? That's not what our friends just said. He says elephants have the biggest brains. So what kind of character must elephant be? A confident character because he's so sure of himself. Great, Donna. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, I know this because elephant, and I'm going to capitalize him since that's the character, is very sure of himself. And what does he say, Christian?
He has the biggest brains.
What does he say there, Anthony?
He has the biggest
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say, I know this because elephant is very sure of himself, and he says
He has the biggest brains.
mm-hmm, that elephants have the biggest brains. Good. Awesome. So what we're going to do, I was going to send you guys off with a little homework, but I think that we need to do some of this work more together before I let you guys do this on your own, okay? So next time we're going to use the same exact book, so you need to make sure you're reading the story. And I mean, last week we were reading it very easily, so make sure you're reading it, and we're going to kind of think about another character and their character traits, okay? So that character is actually going to be the giraffe. So as you're reading, I want you to start to think, what kind of character is this giraffe? You have this in your reading folder, so you can use that if you need to. All right? So make sure you're reading this before Wednesday. All right? I'm going to keep this because we're going to use it next time. And we're going to do the writing together, okay?